And benvenuti, fellas and bellas all over the world. Welcome to another episode of the Napoli Rant. I am Raff, Bizz, joined by my co-host, the Becca Raffs, Raffa.
What's up, Raff Bizzarro? Come stai oggi?
Ciao, tutto a posto, guys. Welcome to you. Welcome to everybody in the chat, as well as all of our audio listeners. Let's get this rant on the road. But before we do, guys, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We are growing and we appreciate all your support. We got some big things coming up for next month. We'll get into that later. But let's get the show on the road, Raffa. Napoli draw Bologna away this week. We're going to talk about the aftermath. Bologna, Napoli 0-0. We'll get into the Kvara comeback later, and don't be so Rudy, talking about Rudy Garcia, as well as our beast of the match. But before we do that, first comment today, Foxtrot, Garcia out. Get rid of this dude, man. We are going to talk about this a whole lot.
We have a lot. We have a lot to say about it.
We have a lot to say, man. Napoli Club Toronto in the house. Let's start off strong. If I could give my soul to the devil for De Zerbi, I would. Would have not think twice about it either. Daniel's been absent, but good to be back. Good to have you back.
What's up, Dan?
I got Johnny Iucci. Long time no see, guys. I try to stay positive, like Raff and Raff say, and now Garcia's doing this. Always Forza Napoli sempre. You know, there's like a double-edged sword to this comment because one, people are listening in and they're remaining positive. So, Rafa, we are having a positive influence towards the Napoli fan base, but.
Are we though?
No, we are. I've seen the general kind of like discourse towards that everybody is trying to remain calm. They're listening to the show. They're coming every Monday, getting their therapy.
That's good.
But Rafa, there's only so much we can do, right?
Yeah, exactly. We provide what we provide, but you know, when we look the way we look on the pitch lately, it's difficult. It's very difficult. It's funny because a client of mine today said, you know, what do you ever struggle for content? And it's like, dude, we have plenty of content. This team provides us with plenty of content every week. It's like, you know, especially now. And then I told him about our skid, you know, he knew about our title win last year and everything like that. But, you know, it's a little disheartening, man. Like I'm with most of the people when it comes to certain things, but I'm also kind of trying to stay level-headed. A lot of people, I think, are kind of pushing a certain agenda to, you know, to move Garcia out. But we'll talk about that later. But I think right now we just have to take it game by game right now, you know, and you know, hope for the best Wednesday, right? We play again on Wednesday.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I just want to rip through a few more comments. Rafa Vincenzo Battista says, if only Garcia started the season off like world-class coaches, Mourinho, Pochettino.
Bertillo's on the more level-headed side, I think, when it comes to Rudy Garcia.
And he's been pretty consistent with that. Like
he has,
through the start of the season too. Right?
He has,
But Salvatore Di Brita on the other, Garcia out. You get the point.
Well, Di Brita, yeah. Before we move on, I just want to say apologies to the audio listeners for no show last week. I've had a lot of issues with my system. I promise you guys, we're working on getting me a better system here. But there will be no show audio from last week. This week, you know, obviously we're back with it, but
yes,
I want to thank Johnny Delicoli, for helping out last week and trying to help you know, keep things going. I want to thank Joe Bizz too for stepping in when you were out and helping out in the last hour. And I want to thank everybody that moved over from YouTube to the Instagram, which I really appreciated. Almost everybody did it and interacted, which was awesome. So thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Oh boy, there is a lot of ranting going on in the chat right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's really emotional time, man.
Frankie Pila, lucky I was golfing Sunday.
Luckily, is right.
Luckily, I was working and really didn't get to see a lot of it. So yeah,
terrible subs, Antonia Arcamone says, when will Lindstrom get into the game? Yeah, and I heard the Eintracht fans are a little upset too.
Yeah, if you're gonna take our player, play him. Right? Exactly. I feel them.
Michael asked, did Rafa get a haircut or is he rocking a
Oh no, I'm rocking the ponytail. There's no haircut here, guys. That's my trademark. What am I supposed to do?
By the way, we have a contractual agreement that Rafa cannot shave completely
So,
his hair and beard because I don't want to redo the logo. So he has to keep his hair and beard. I
so
said
I
he
have
can
a
trim
funny.
it, but he can't get rid of it.
Yes, I have a funny story. Right. Um, last weekend, Ali was away, and I partook by myself in a little gummy action, which never done before on my own. I'm new to the um, THC weed gummy thing, right? Um, and I thought it was a good idea to trim my beard, and that's why you see my beard kind of lower now. And I messed up really bad. So then next morning when I looked in the mirror and I said, "What did I just do?" I had to fix it. So I salvaged it a little, but normally it's bigger, thinner, thicker. But the hair will never go away, never again.
Oh boy, man, jeez, bring Napoli Club Toronto, bring back Mazzotti just for the vibes.
Yeah, I keep seeing video of like Cavani goals too, especially lately, and it really does give me a chill and a tear in my eye. Like when we had Mazzari, those guys. I mean, we had 11 good, solid starters, right? And they competed. Maybe a couple of decent subs, but we didn't have the depth, but we had heart, man. We really did. And it's I need edibles to watch Napoli this season. That's very true. If I wasn't working, I might have had to do that
Rule
too.
number one: don't listen to edible thoughts.
Dude, I've done a lot better when it comes to like snacking late at night. I'm trying to change my eating habits, and I've done a lot better with the snacking. Like before, when I was under the edible influence, I would snack all night long, man, until I went to bed, and it was really bad. But I've done a lot better. So it just so happens that I didn't have Ali to say no. That's a bad idea. Pete Scala. I wonder what Donadoni's doing these days. The Metro Star himself.
Oh boy,
Guys, what's going on? It's a lot of people here tonight.
yeah, this
I
is
love it.
great turnout. Like the
I'm
chat is
not
popping now.
I'm not able to see backstage because of the setup, so I don't know the number, but I'm very happy to see a lot of people here, and
Yeah,
plus all of our regulars too. Yeah, no, that's never gonna happen. Pasquale says gonna need to do harder drugs if this play keeps up. I think I'm all right there. I think I'm good there, man. I'll leave it to the weed
yeah,
gummies.
yeah. All right, so let's get past the
Chat's popping, and I love it. Let's
and
let's keep it going though.
I love it. We got into Garcia, Cavani, weight, money, coaches, and controlled substance
Edibles.
within like 8 minutes and 30 seconds. This is great. You want to talk about off the rails? I mean, holy shit. We
Well,
destroyed
it kind of sums up Napoli season, doesn't it?
but all right, so so Rafa, this was like the first game, I think, since the first game that I was able to watch live because of work and all that, and
Oh yeah.
and I was super happy. By the way, we had an awesome time in the Discord. So for those of you who are not in there yet, please come in. Um, we had the game thread going, and it was really, really fun. And a lot of people were in there. We were just, and it was mostly complaining, but
Sure.
I was one of those guys complaining, and it was just like, but this was like, even though we were dominating Bologna, Rafa, it was just like hard to watch, man. Because
It
in
was.
my eyes, like we should have wrapped this game up 3-0, 4-0 within the first half, man. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I being too hard on them, or is it like? Do you felt? I mean, this game should have been a wrap
Yeah,
really quickly.
I agree. It didn't help that, right away Osimhen slams the post again. And then all the opportunities we had, all of the pressing we did. I mean, Bologna had next to nothing in the first half, really. I mean, they didn't even take a shot in the first half. Never mind shot on goal. They didn't have a shot in the first half. Like Nothing. And this is a team that likes to attack. Thiago Motta has them pressing a lot harder. They have a really good lineup in Xerxes in the front and Ferguson
Mhm.
right behind him, and Ndoye on the side with guys like Orsolini coming off the bench. Fruller's there in the midfield. These guys are a good bunch who like to attack and who like to press, and they had nothing. So credit to Napoli for containing them, but like you know, I just really wish that Osimhen ball didn't strike the post and went in.
Yeah, he's got a few
it,
posts now, right? He's got a few, I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's got a
nice
few, and
football.
and yeah, he's got a few, and it's got to be frustrating. It's got to be, and you know, uh, first half was very tough to watch as well, though. Like as little chances as Bologna had, Napoli were not able to convert on their chances, and also didn't have very many chances. It was not the most entertaining first half. Second half was where things started to get a little bit crazy, and Napoli were a little better. I think. Like I don't think Napoli played terrible. That's another thing. Like the trend seems to be going up when it comes to how Napoli play. It looks like they're getting better and better. I'm glad that we got to see Natan start, and albeit because of Juan Jesus injury and
Right.
Rahmani's been out too. So I'm glad to see. Oh, there you go. Peter saying I'm glad to see that Natan is in fact real.
It's
He is
real.
real. He exists.
It's really
Um,
real.
he had a few minutes in the Champions League game, which we'll talk about just a little bit too briefly. 2-1 win over Braga, which was nice. 3 points on the road in the Champions League is always nice, especially when you got to go play Real Madrid next at home. No matter how he did it, right? There was a lot of complaining after that too, but a win is a win is a win, right? Natan got a few minutes in there, looked pretty decent, and not for nothing, but Natan comes in and gets a 7-1 rating on FootMob. Ostigard a 7.5. Anguissa played okay today, a little better yesterday. I liked what I saw from Raspadori when he came on. I loved what I saw from Kvaratskhelia, but he gets triple teamed and it's bad. It's tough to contain him. And Osimhen
David
did what
Osimhen.
Osimhen could do. I mean, it just doesn't. It's not transitioning into goals, right? I think it was probably Di Lorenzo's worst game.
All
This
right.
this it just is not transitioning to goals, Ralph. And we've got to start getting goals scored, man. And that's
We got to
it. That's
stop.
just the
To
way it
me,
is.
we were speaking about this in the Discord, Rafa, where it's just like we keep bypassing the midfield almost. And Johnny Aucci says here, I'm going to put it up. I noticed. I don't know if anyone else did, but why is Anguissa pushing forward more to trigger the press than Zielinski? It looks like Garcia is holding him back. I think it's hurting the offense. It's true. I always thought, Anguissa was more, dispossess somebody in the midfield, try to create a turnover. Zielinski could push forward, and Lobotka is kind of back, quarterbacking a little bit. If they got to bring the ball back, he can kind of control it and then, make another pass forward. To me, it's the midfield just looks confused almost. There was one point I saw Anguissa on the left with Oliveira pressing forward while Zielinski was back, like playing defense or something.
Yeah.
It's and Oliveira, in my opinion, sucks at that. I don't even think he's that good. And then he gets taken out after the first half, and then puts Ruim. Which I mean, this is the second time Garcia decides to do something like this. Like, when is he going to realize that we need Rui to start? He is, in my opinion, an integral part of the offense, man. And we're missing him. We're missing his crosses. We're missing his runs, deep along the side of the field. Like what? Why is this guy favoring Oliveira all of a sudden?
Well,
And
let me ask you this.
why does it take an injury to get Natan and Ostigard to play? Why?
Well, let
Why?
me ask you. Let me ask
Juan
you
Jesus
this.
sucks. Like, why?
What? Well, I don't want to say Juan Jesus sucks.
He
I don't believe
sucks
he
now, bro.
sucks.
He's
I
just
don't
not
believe
a,
he sucks.
but he's not a starter material, man. I know.
No,
All right.
he's not.
When Kim got injured, he came in, he did his thing fine. He could, but he's not a starter, bro. He's not a
He's not the
starter.
long term. He's not the long term answer, but he doesn't suck by any means. He doesn't suck.
Wow,
I
man. I,
listen. He's not
not
the long
terrible, but
term
he's
answer,
not
but
great.
he's not great. I didn't say he's great, but he doesn't suck. Like I
All
don't think
right.
anyone sucks on the team.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, maybe, and I'm asking you this, right? And the chat can chime in too, obviously. what if he's starting Oliveira because Di Lorenzo is too forward pressing, and with Mario Rui, it would have two wingers pressing a little bit too much, and he doesn't trust the center backs without Kim there to like cover, and Anguissa there to help with defensive cleaning up. Like, what if it's because of that he's starting Oliveira all the time? I still don't agree with it. I think Ostigard and Natan, it could be fine back there by themselves to rely on them for, covering the defense, and maybe the thing he's got to do is realize that Anguissa needs to drop back a lot. But I'm looking at Anguissa's numbers, right? And he's got where I just had these 6 defensive actions, 2 interceptions, 7 recoveries. That's a lot of recoveries. 5 duels won, and I feel like defensively he was pretty solid, but you're right. Like there's no and 57, 55 and 57 accurate passes, but there's no reason that Anguissa needs to be moving too forward. That's Zielinski and that's Lobotka. Let them cover there. He needs to kind of stay back a little to win those duels and then get the ball up, right? But again, back to Oliveira. Do you think maybe that's why? Do you think maybe he needs a little more defensive help because of the center back situation? That he's getting the starts over Rui? Possibly, right? I don't know.
I don't know, man, but we're acting like we can't defend or something, man. I mean,
He can defend. He can defend. No, he can defend, but Oliveira is supposed to be better at defending. The problem is Oliveira is not doing a good job this season, offensively or defensively at all.
Right,
He's
right.
for me, it's been Anguissa, except for this past game because he was okay this game. I liked him this game. It's been Anguissa and it's been Oliveira, the 2 most disappointing players, in my opinion, on this team. Over Juan Jesus, over Kvaratskhelia, over, everyone. Over Lobotka, everyone. I think, for me, it's been Oliveira and Anguissa at times. The 2 most disappointing players on this team.
Oliveira and Anguissa.
Yeah.
That's because they're both doing things they shouldn't be doing. And this is my point. It just looks like everybody's confused. Like it's like everybody adopted a new role. I mean, he's breaking something or he's trying to fix something that was never broken. And Guisa, to me, shouldn't be like a regista, like Napoli Club Toronto said earlier. Lobotka is being overpassed. Oliveira is not great on offense. Juan Jesus should not be starting. Why isn't the best duo in the season, in the best duo in the league last season, not connecting anymore? Kvara Osinem. I mean, if I want to take something, listen, Zielinski had a hell of a beginning of the season, and he continues to. Raspadori needs more playing time. But overpassing Lobotka and him looking frustrated out there, they're saying, well, he's not running. There was points during this game that he just looked frustrated, man. He was looking frustrated. He was trying to point. He was trying to like guide people, but
I wonder how much of Lobotka not being as good as he was last year is his father passing. We know that Lobotka doesn't really handle personal issues very well. He didn't handle it. I think it was during the Gattuso stint that he had a thing with his girlfriend or his ex, and they broke up, and he was, out of shape and disinterested and what have you. And he was called out for it, and him and Gattuso didn't get on. But then Spalletti comes in and he's a new player. But maybe something like his father passing and family issues get to his head, and he doesn't perform as well. How much of it is that versus Rudy Garcia's tactics, right? I mean, there's got to be some sort of a correlation there. There's got to be something there with Lobotka, because I feel like he's a better player than he's been playing, right? At the same time, Garcia's got to realize Lobotka is the guy to connect the defense to the midfield, to the offense. He's the regista. He's the guy.
Right.
And also, not for nothing, also, this midfield three has played and started every game. Like, I don't see why we can't give Cayusta a chance. Cayusta is good. He came in and he didn't do that bad. Excuse me, I believe Cayusta needs a little bit of a chance. Maybe Anguissa needs to sit against fucking Udinese. Excuse my language. Maybe he needs to sit against Udinese so that Cayusta can come in. Maybe Lobotka needs to sit and Cayusta can. Cayusta is very versatile in the midfield. He can play any position.
Cayusta
I
was
think
injured for a game or two. No, I don't think he was able to play.
no, he played. He came in on the against Bologna.
No, but not
he came in.
the game prior, though, right?
I'm not 100% sure if he was injured or not, but
He
it
snagged
could
a little thing in.
possible, but he's back now. So let's go. Let's give him a chance. We got to shake some stuff up. I'm very happy that I know it took a Juan Jesus injury, but I'm very happy Natan's in there. Once Rahmani's back, I think Natan and Rahmani will be fine, and I think we'll be better. I think we will. You know, but also here's another thing. Okay, now moving from all of this to, if Osimhen made that shot in the first half, and then if Osimhen converted the penalty in the second half, we wouldn't be talking. Would we? Let's do that. Okay, Osimhen converts one of those two, we win. Is it pretty? No, but champions find a way to win, right? In the Champions League, it could have been 4-5-1. Osimhen converts a couple of the chances he had there, which was another crossbar, which was a great shot, by the way, which was a penalty that wasn't given. Oh, actually, that was rightly called. But also the header that the keeper made, the save the keeper made, where the keeper got injured and then Di Lorenzo took another header and he got up and saved that too. There were a few chances where Napoli could have scored and we could have won that game 3-4-5-1, right? Then against Genoa, had we just played a little bit better than we did in the first half, we could have scored a goal and we could have won this game 3-2. Or how much of that, if those things happen, right? How much of that has to happen for us to not be like Garcia out, right? Like, it's one. There's a few things that Garcia does that we question, but had Osimhen converted that's not his fault. That's not Garcia's fault.
Right.
Osimhen hitting 3 posts in the last 4 games is not his fault. Osimhen missing a penalty is not his fault. Kvaratskhelia being triple teamed and nobody's there to help him is not Garcia's fault. There are a few things that, in my opinion, Garcia is taking a lot of the blame for with the fans, and I understand the frustrations because I'm asking too. Why is Simeone coming in the 86th minute instead of, maybe the 75th or the 70th? Why don't they try to put 2 players, Osimhen and Simeone, in together? I know the statistics. I saw Joe Fischetti's tweet. It's true, right? But how much of these stats are too relied upon with Camp Garcia? And why can't they just? I got this feeling. Let me put a Simeone in. Why is he subbing Kvaratskhelia out for Zerbin instead when we need a goal? Some of the things, I get the frustrations, but it's still the 5th game of the season. We have literally 33 more games. We're 7 points out of first place with only 5 games in. Inter are bound to crumble at some point, right? You saw what happened with them against Real Sociedad, right? There are 99 points left available, guys. 99 points. We have to let this play out a little bit. Even Sarri's first 5 games weren't the greatest. Even, God bless you. I heard that sneeze, Raff. Even Aussie, I was
trying to be slick to this. Yeah, I try to go off screen, make it all professional.
Yeah, for the listeners, Ralph goes off screen, and all of a sudden you hear, "Achoo!" That was dope.
Sorry.
Anyway, guys, listen to me. Okay, I understand the frustrations, and I'm with you. Trust me, I am. I'm not the biggest fan of Garcia. I'm not. Trust me. But the thing is this: this isn't FIFA. He's not getting sacked after 5 games. This isn't FIFA. We're not getting a center back in January. This isn't FIFA. It's not in fantasy land. This guy's the coach. We've got to at least give him a little bit of a chance. We lead the group in the Champions League right now, right? Let's just take it game by game. I know the play is bad. I know it looks bad. It's tough to watch, but it's going to click for these guys. They have too much quality for it not to click. And Rudy Garcia will figure it out. I have faith that he will. I might eat my words. I might turn my back on what I just said. It might happen, but I have to have the faith. I can't just give everything up now. You can't just reactionary fire him and get somebody else in.
Let me
can't do that.
Raffa. Gaetano Salazzo says, this is my entire point. Way too early to make any declarations. Scudetto's over. Top four is in question. Crazy talk, in my opinion. I agree.
Okay, but here's the deal. Scudetto, everybody and their mother knew that this season was not going to be the same as last season. Everybody knew it going in. So why is everybody surprised at where we are right now? Why? We're 3 points away from where we were last season in the standings, right? But Inter are playing out of their minds. Lecce's going to come down to reality at some point. Juve just got thumped by Sassuolo 4-2, which was hilarious, by the way. You know, Milan ain't that great. We're going to figure this out. It's going to happen. Everybody just has to calm down, relax, take a chill pill, eat an edible. Don't shave your beard when you're on it.
There we go. Do drugs, right? Everybody. It's okay.
Everything, and I want to read this from Carmelo. I would like to read this from
please.
Carmelo.
I figured you wanted to. That's what I put on.
He says, let's be honest, everything went our way last year. Everything, but things aren't going our way this season. We've been very unlucky, but also Garcia is not the guy for us. Players look lost. I'm not against what you said. I think it's too early to say Garcia is not the guy for us, because I was saying Spalletti's not the guy for us, even mid-season, the first Spalletti season, and look what he did. Right? We have to accept the fact that winning the Scudetto is difficult, but we did it. Repeating the Scudetto is even harder. I don't care. Like, Juventus did it 9 times, but the league was much less quality when they did it. And we all know Juventus will Juventus, right? I mean, they get the calls, they get the this and that. I don't want to get into that too much, but that was just a different. Juve was a beast. I can't take anything away from them. They were beastly. Repeating a Scudetto was very difficult, and we all knew that even if we did repeat this year, it wasn't going to be as easy as last year. Inter beefed up, Milan beefed up, right? So we've got to just kind of let this play out, okay? We have to see what Natan can do. Lindstrom will play more. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, guys. It's too early to just throw bombs over Naples. It's crazy, guys. Crazy. By the way, speaking of bomb, I don't know if you guys noticed the swagoo today. I don't know if you noticed what I'm wearing. The away Champions League kit. Yes. Thank you very much.
Looking fly, super clean, bro. I want it so bad.
Ralphie boy, it's beautiful.
It, bro. I'm so
it's
getting
beautiful.
It looks beautiful, bro. Like the fact that they put the red, white, and green collar on the all white. Like, I know people like the Vesuvio. It's kind of nice, but I'll be honest, I can do it.
No. Right. I do love it, but this is dope with the blue collar with the Italian flag on it. No Vesuvio, white clean, Scudetto, everything's embossed. Again, it just needs a Champions League patches are coming in. I'll put that on soon. But beautiful kit.
But guys, let's if you like what you heard just now about the aftermath, please give us a like, subscribe, share, man, show your support. We're gonna get the beats of the match, guys. It was kind of tough for this one. Shout out to the sponsor, cheeseboxsports.com, for all your sports photography needs in New York City. Reach out to them because I own the company. I'll take some photos for you. But yeah, beats of the match, guys. Me and Raffa were back and forth on this one, but we came to a conclusion, and it was something. Raffa gave in to me a little bit with this one. Raffa gave in to me, and I appreciate that. Raff, you're a good guy, man. You're a good co-host, bro. Thank you.
I love you, Raff Bizarro. I really do.
Back,
we love you.
We love each other
in this house. We love you in this house, man.
And I love your house.
Oh, thanks.
I gotta come.
You've never been here. You should. I'm still waiting for you to come visit. All these years, you said I'm gonna come
I'm
visit.
gonna
I'm
come.
gonna
I'm
come
gonna
visit.
come. Right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. All
Sure.
right. But guys, beast of the match. Who do you think it was? Here we go. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. All right.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Here we go. Surprise! Leo
Boom.
Ostigard, guys.
Ostigard is the cheese box sports beast of the match.
Yes.
Again, for all your school sports needs in New York City and the surrounding area, please get in touch with Cheesebox Sports. Was that chzboxsports.com, and then
Yeah.
I reach out to the email to chzboxsports at gmail.com. Ostigard.
Yes.
Ostigard. Beast of the match.
This was one of the nominees. Paulo was definitely one of the nominees for Beast in the Match. But
Paulo was a nominee. The fans were a nominee for sitting through that monotonous crap.
Who else? Yeah, we had a couple.
We did have a few players. I had initially thought Anguissa, but then I shifted to Kvara. But we landed on Ostigard, and for me, the reason we landed on Ostigard, and I guess I'll explain my reasoning
Okay.
before Ralph goes in, because he's the guy that really initially came up with it. I think I'm going to applaud Ostigard because he doesn't get a lot of starts. He got this start, and with this start, he had to play next to Natan, and they've never played with each other before. So, I mean, they played with each other 5 minutes in the Champions League. And they had to start together. And I tell you what, they were two of the higher rated players on FootMob, right? 7.5 for Ostigard and a 7.1 for Natan. I think they were pretty solid in the back line. I mean, I know, Medet had to make a couple saves, but I wasn't ever worried too much about Bologna. I mean, they were pressing, but they really had nothing in the final third. And I think that the two center backs had a lot to do with that. So for me, Ostigard wins it because he really took on that Rahmani role with Natan, brand new Natan in the center with him. So that was my reason. Go ahead, Raff. You tell yours.
100%, guys. For me, listen, I pretty much agree with everything Raff has to say. The only thing I can add is that I've been co-signing Ostigard for a while. I remember last season, his first game on, I believe it was Champions League. I don't remember.
It was either his. I don't know if it was his first appearance, but it was his first start.
It was his first start. I'm pretty sure it was his. All right. Either way, it was his first start. Wins beast in a match. The game against
Scored a goal.
The game against Braga, great with the aerial duels. Great with trying to get headers in from the corner kicks. I thought he had thwarted a lot of counterattack possibilities. I think he's one of the main reasons why the score remains 0-0. And it's thankless for him, man. He sits on the bench. He barely gets the time. I got to watch Juan Jesus missing his marker. I'm sorry. And it's just like, why do we got to wait for Rahmani to get injured for this guy to get some playing time? I just don't get it. I think he's good, young, tough defenseman. I think he has a lot to offer, and I just want to see him more. And this game proved it. There was, Raff spoke about Kvara and maybe a couple others that did okay. But for me, the fact that he got on the field, he did what he had to do when Natan right next to him. For me, it was beastly. The score was 0-0, and he was one of the reasons, man. So, Ostigard, congratulations. Beast of the match, match day 5 against Bologna. There it is, folks. I hope you enjoyed it.
Really quick, FootMob, Leo Ostigard, FootMob rating 7.5, minutes played 90, 61 of 67 accurate passes for 91%. 81 touches, 8 passes into the final third, 4 of 8 accurate long balls. Was dispossessed only once. Won a tackle, had a block, had 3 clearances, had a headed clearance, 2 interceptions, 8 defensive actions, 2 recoveries, and was only dribble past once. Won 4 duels of 6, and one of those was an aerial duel. He was fouled only once too. I just think that, I'd like to read the numbers for the Beast because I think there's some merit in why we chose him too. So there's that.
There it is, guys.
Surprisingly, Medet got player of the match.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Raffa. I just wanted to just let for everybody on the replay. Who do you think your beast of the match was? Put it in our comments.
Yeah.
Let us know. We'd like to know what you think and what you thought about our decision. So yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah, what we saying, Moret?
Man, for some reason, Medet got player of the match with a 7.8 rating, which just didn't make sense to me. But I really, he only made 2 saves. He only needed to make 2 saves. He had he had 20, I think he had like 20 something touches, 25 touches. 17 of 19 accurate passes for him. But nothing really, nothing really tremendous. I don't know why he got beast of the match. Player of the match by FootMob, where Kvaratskhelia had a 7.7. And I tell you what, Kvaratskhelia was a beast, man. Like moving from beast of the match to Kvara, I really think he's coming back. I think he's getting that edge again. Every game you can see he's doing better and better. 7.7 rating. He got subbed out in the 76th minute, and that's fine. I just don't think he has the 90 in his legs yet for some reason. I'm not sure why. But he took 4 shots himself. He had a couple of really good passes. He really touched the ball a lot. 60 touches. It's a lot. Passes into the final third was 3. He won 11 duels. He won the most duels of the game. He was fouled the most times in the game, so he drew a lot of fouls, which is good too. I just think that every game he's getting better and better, and I hope that his goal comes. I really wanted to see him take that penalty kick instead of Osimhen. Not that I have anything against Osimhen and him taking a penalty, because that's what a leader does, and he's one of the leaders on this team, and he's a goal scorer. He's capocannoniere. He should be taking these penalties, but we've got a big problem when it comes to penalty kicks, man. Big one. And for some reason, I just felt that he was going to miss that one. Something gets in his head when the pressure's on at the spot, and something happens where he just totally capitulates. And I think if Kvaratskhelia took that and converted that, that would have been very good for his psyche and for his mentality and for him getting sort of out of the quote unquote funk that he's in. Might have helped him out, man, with a goal, right? I just think that Kvara's this close to coming back to what he was.
Well, let's move on to that. We'll call it the Kvara comeback, Raffa.
Yeah, basically said everything I needed to say about it, but what do you have to say? Honestly, in my opinion, once Kvara gets that goal or assist, it's over. He's gonna blow up. And I just feel like I really wish Rudy would give him a few more minutes on the pitch instead of just give up on him. I know he's got wingers to put in and stuff like that, but and I know he gets tired because he gets worked on a lot. He worked by the defense and his man a lot. But you saw him 1v1, he's unstoppable. 1v, if 2 are on him, he might get past 2. But they started triple teaming him now.
Yeah.
And here's my thing: if he's being triple teamed, why can't a Lobotka or a Oliveira come up to help him out? That's where Mario Rui comes in.
Right.
That's where Mario Rui comes in, where we need help for Kvaratskhelia. He can help him out. Maybe Zielinski should be getting a little closer to Kvara when he has the ball, just to give him another, maybe screen someone. Maybe, we need him to really start clicking. We really do. Go ahead.
No, Rafi, he's the type, he's so good that he has to be double and triple teamed. And that's the thing. But when that's happening, that means somebody's open. He has to make those decisions a little bit faster to maybe get rid of the ball, or like somebody says here, like Kvara, Gaetano was saying, Kvara needs to play the ball picker. He can't let the double and triple team get to him. It's right. He's got to make a better decision, try to break through the defenders, or get rid of the ball, and especially when he's getting double triple team, because somebody's going to be open. But you're right, something's got to click. I mean, listen, he was the MVP of the league last year. Him and Osimhen were the best duo of the league last year. Something's got to give. Yes, he showed a little frustration to Garcia, so did Osimhen. They all apologized. Di Lorenzo spoke to them. They'll get better. I'm sure they'll get over it. Maybe they're... And you know what, Raffa, with the fact that we're defending champs, yeah, the pressure is on a little bit. And 100%. You know what? We have to... Napoli's... We haven't been in this position in 30 years, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like, let's keep it real here. Like, we haven't been in this position in 30 years. And it's almost like uncharted territory. It's like, to be true champion,
100%.
We got to keep our heads out there. I think Kvara is going to be just fine. I think the team is going to be just fine. But I need a little bit better, you know, I don't want to say tactics, but as far as Kvara goes, he's got to know when to give that ball up a little quicker. You can't just go into the box, get 4 people in front of you, and try to chip the ball in magically to get it to Osimhen. It's not working. It's not working. You know, he's got to be a little bit more creative, but I think he's doing real well. I think his ball control, if anything, and his creativity is better than last season, and I think that's going to improve throughout the season. So I'd like to see what happens. But can we call it a comeback? Nah, we've been here for years, man. You know, but I think he's going to be just fine. I guess we can call it a comeback because maybe this started off slow a little bit for him, but once they solidify who's doing what, it'll be much better. But Raffa, like you said, it's Mario Rui who I think is the key here, man. I think he's the key.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, you got him overlapping runs. You got him, you know, servicing the ball. Sometimes him helping Kvara out allows Kvara to go into the middle. You know what I mean? And now guys that are not normally tasked to mark Kvaratskhelia have to mark him, and maybe they get flustered. You know, I just think it's the right move. Mario Rui, left wing, left back, he's got to play. He's got to start. They've got to get goals early and fast. They've got to do it. It's got to start happening. You know, against Real Madrid, I don't want Oliveira against Real Madrid. I don't want to see him against Real Madrid. Not even a little bit.
No, not at all.
Oliveira against Real Madrid?
I mean, I want to see Rui in general. So,
yeah, I'm talking about when Real Madrid comes around, man. Like, right. Okay, we have Udinese now. We have Lecce. By the way, we have Lecce. Who would have ever thought that we would be almost dreading a fixture against Lecce before our fixture against Real Madrid? Like, Lecce is so good right now. Like, it's incredible. But they are bound to come down to earth. Udinese came down to earth last season. Atalanta came down to earth last season. These guys were with us. Remember, it was Atalanta game. We went to Ribalta. Remember that? That was what, match like 7 or 8 in the season, or 9, and they were neck and neck with us. I remember at one point when they scored their goal to go up 1-0, they overtook us in the standings for that time being. We had to come back and win, and then we never looked back. Atalanta faltered. Same thing with Udinese. Udinese were up there, and then boom, down they went. Like Lecce is bound to come down. Frosinone is bound to come down. You know, these teams, Juventus, like I said, not as good as they everybody thinks they are. You know, they're bound to come down too. Inter's bound to lose a game or two. We have to capitalize on these things. We have to get it going. It's good now that we get this crap out of our system so that we can get back on track when we have to play the bigger teams.
Right. Well, the guy that's going to take us there is Rudy Garcia. So
whether we like it or not, guys, don't be so Rudy.
Don't be so Rudy.
I mean, listen, give the guy a little more respect. You're being really Rudy to him, you know? the rootiness is
The
not good for
rootiness.
me.
No,
He's our boss. We need to respect that, and so do the players.
yeah.
And let me say this: I know Osimhen was upset, and I've seen a lot of people, in different chats. By the way, the Discord again, I'm going to plug it. Please go to our audio on Far From Vesuvius. Download Far From Vesuvius on your favorite podcast platform. In the show notes, you will see the Discord link. Join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. I'm also in a bunch of WhatsApp groups, obviously, and I just see all this negativity towards Rudy Garcia, and I get it. I do. I promise you, I get it, and I'm with you for most of it. But that's the guy we got right now. That's the guy we got. He will not be sacked on a 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss record in the first 5 games. He's not going to be sacked.
In his first
So,
season.
no, we have got to give it a minute. It's got to happen. Again, nobody said we should be repeating with ease like we did last season. If we repeat, it's going to be a struggle. If we don't repeat, it's not a surprise. But he will get us to top 4. He will have us playing good in the Champions League. I promise you that. Just give it some time. It's got to happen. I know we're frustrated. I'm frustrated. Ralph, I know you're frustrated, bro. It was frustrating.
I don't want to call it frustration, Rafa. It's I was like disappointed, kind of. I mean, I was frustrated to see us not kill Bologna because I thought we could have. That was frustrating. I was like, we should be beating the shit out of this team. It's frustrating to see another post by Ostigard, but it's all right. He'll bring it. See, and this whole, don't be Rudy too. Don't tell the coach, oh, you need 2 strikers. I mean, like, don't tell the coach how to do his job, man. And he said it. You know what? I want to win so bad. That to me is saying that I'm putting all this pressure on myself to try to repeat what we did last season. That now I'm losing my head. It's very important that Osimhen doesn't lose his head. And I'm glad Di Lorenzo spoke to him and told him to kind of chill out a little bit, because that one is the definition of a leader, and 2, it's something that he's going to need. Osimhen, when he's smiling and having fun out there, is dangerous. When he's frustrated, it's bad news. He's going to start getting cards. He's going to start getting injected. He's going to start missing shots. He's going to start yelling at the players. It just calls for a bad ride. The same goes for Kvara. And they played excellent this season. Just get back to that. But to me, Rudy Garcia has to do a couple things. Rui needs to start. Juan Jesus needs to come off the bench. And we need to start playing through the midfield a little bit more. Those things got to happen. And I want to see Raspadori more, because in my opinion, Raspadori is going to have a breakout season if he's utilized correctly, and he can certainly distribute. He just gives me those Mertin vibes, man.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Can I ask you this about Raspadori?
Yeah.
Do you think Zielinski's start is halting? Is that the right word? Halting?
What are you trying to say?
Is Zielinski's great start to the season causing Raspadori to not be in a more central role? I know he's a winger. Usually he's a left winger, but we've seen what he can do centrally, right? He's also a striker and a forward.
Right.
Do you think because Zielinski's playing so out of his mind good, the reason that we don't see Raspadori too much, because we have Kvaratskhelia on the left, and Politano on the right? And do you think maybe it's smart to share the playing time between those 2 equally if he's going to play in the center? Do you think that that's something, that there's something to that?
Zielinski and Raspadori should share time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, give Zielinski a little less time, because eventually, I mean, he's a little older, right? We had that COVID issue he always had. He had a great start to last season too. Not like this. This is phenomenal, his play. But he had numbers last season, and then they faltered a bit, right? So do you think maybe Raspadori, again, like exactly what Danny's saying right now, Dan Ruggiero, Raspadori behind Osimhen would be fantastic. Like, if he could play that role, in the midfield, I think we'd be fine. You know,
I almost think maybe he should share some time with Kvara as well. He actually did okay when he was covering Kvara over there. The team was doing okay when his decision making I thought was a little bit quicker, and even when he comes into the middle, he's able to give good through balls.
his goal against Genoa came on the left side of that attack, right on the left side, and he got central, but it was on the left. Yeah,
right. So wherever he's going to be put on the field, he has to be put on the field one way or another, whether he's starting or where he's coming in the second half, whether he comes in for Zielinski, whether he comes in for Kvara, whether he comes in for Politano. But now we got Lidstrom there. What are we going to do with him? He feels excess, but the thing is, it's like, look, our two center backs already went down. So the thing is, and when Kvara wasn't 100%, we had Raspadori playing. So I think over this next month, we'll see. We have a lot of games. They're gonna have to start distributing these minutes a little bit better. And I'm a big proponent with this, Rafa. I'm a big proponent.
I was just gonna say the same thing, Ralph.
Fucking use it, man. Just use it.
I can't believe Simeone only gets 4 minutes, man. You can't give a guy 4 minutes. What's the probability of a guy coming in and scoring right away? What's the probability of that? These guys are numbers people. Why are they putting Simeone in with 4 minutes left? This guy can score goals, man. This guy can score goals. You just got to get in the game and get a little accustomed. I'm not saying put him in halftime for Osimhen, but give him like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Put them together for 10 minutes and take Osimhen out. Like give him something. This guy's sitting on the bench. You got Simeone who bleeds for this team, says he never wants to leave. Like he loves Napoli, man. Mm-hmm. Let's go. What's going on?
I agree.
That's frustrating. That's the one thing I have to say. If I have to criticize Rudy Garcia the most for this season so far, is why are you making so? First of all, some of the subs he makes that are questionable, and the timing of his substitutions. You thought Spalletti was frustrating with some timing of the subs. This guy is frustrating me with the timing of his substitutions. And sometimes they don't make any sense, man. I think it was only once the Genoa game where the substitutions all worked out, except for when he subbed Kvara out for Zerbin. He looked like a stroke of genius when he made those subs, and then he makes the stupidest sub he will ever make this season. Like, that's what you're getting from Rudy Garcia here. So that's something he's got to work on too. Listen, players have to work on things when it comes to a new manager. But new managers have to work on things too, man. Right. Like this guy comes in to a team, it's like a Ferrari, doesn't need any tuning up, doesn't need any modifications. Like when you see things like you never heard of a souped up Ferrari, have you? You don't need to soup up a Ferrari. No, Napoli was a Ferrari last season, and they're playing like an Alfa this season. Not that I don't like Alfa, but when you compare the two, right? I'm just saying he just as much as the players have growing and like learning Garcia's system, Garcia has to learn what the F these guys did last season and that it worked out. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Now, I like this too, Napoli Club Toronto, 4-2-3-1, Zilo Raspa, Seconda Punta, and Lobotka Caista in midfield. I'm not opposed to a 4-2-3-1. I'm not opposed to it. Mm-hmm. That's a good shout by them.
Let's get some closing music on. Let's get a Forza Napoli going.
Madonna mia, ma che cazzo, frustrating, man. Oh. 0-0 to Bologna. Last season's Bologna game, I was there.
Yeah.
And it was 2-0 Napoli. And we blew a 2-0 lead, tied 2-2, almost lost 3-2, had a goal taken away. But we were still partying, man. Like, Napoli won the Scudetto. It was the penultimate game of the season. There was a party going on. Nobody gave a crap that we tied 2-2. This game at the Dall'Ara, this time, we got whistles from the Napoli fans that came to see it. 7,000 Napoli fans. A lot of Napoli fans in Bologna. And I just remembered when the final whistle blew and the fans were whistling the team, it made me sad because last season when the final whistle blew and it was a draw, we still partied, man. We went out to eat. We walked the streets of Bologna. We had a blast. It was wonderful. Wonderful. This time, not so much, right?
It's all right. Get the bologna sandwich.
Udinese Wednesday. Udinese Wednesday, 2:45. Udinese are terrible this season. They've only scored 1 goal. I think they only have 1 point. By the way, worst start to a Serie A season ever. Empoli. No points, no goals. Nuts. But Udinese is Wednesday. And then we have Lecce. Ooh, Juve Lecce tomorrow, 2:45. I'm going to read these games out. Juve Lecce tomorrow, 2:45. That's juicy. I'll be watching all over that. Wednesday, Cagliari Milan, 12:30. Empoli Salernitana, 12:30. Verona Atalanta, 12:30. Inter Sassuolo, big one, 2:45. Lazio Torino, 2:45. Napoli Udinese, 2:45. Frosinone Sampdoria on the 28th, 12:30. Monza Bologna on the 28th, 12:30. Genoa Roma on the 28th, 12:30. So full slate of Serie A games. Then the weekend, Lecce Napoli on the 30th, which is Saturday, 9 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Lecce Napoli. And then Napoli, Real Madrid. And we'll talk about that next week, right? How big that game is. And a preview for next week, Ralph, we're going to talk a little bit about how this game set the tone. Napoli, Real Madrid set the tone for the reason the Champions League is what it is today. We'll talk back in 1987 or 88, I believe. Napoli, Real Madrid in the Champions Cup set the tone for why the Champions League is the way it is now. We'll discuss that next week.
Sweet, guys. Anyway, thank you to everybody in the chat as well as the audio listeners and the replay. Again, please give this show a like, subscribe, send us some comments, guys. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them for you. Don't forget to check our Discord. Always a fun time, especially during game day. We got the game thread there. Turn on my music again.
Thank you to Cheesebox Sports for sponsoring the Beast of the Match today. Appreciate it, you guys over there.
Word life. Thank you to those guys.
If you want to sponsor us, hit us up. Raff and Raff 1926 at gmail.com. Hit us up. We'll talk.
Sweet, guys. Raffa, good show as always.
Thank you. Same to you, sir.
We'll be back next Monday with another great one.
Hopefully. We'll have 2 games to talk about.
Yeah, it's gonna be lots of fun. But until then, guys, forza Napoli sempre.
Campioni d'Italia.
Campioni d'Italia.